What's up, everybody? Big Herc, fresh out, and you're tuned into our new series, Prison Stories. You're going to hear a story from somebody who's either lived it, witnessed it, or experienced it. These stories are going to turn the hairs on your back up and have your motherfucking toes curling. These stories ain't no fucking joke. You guys think this fucking is a game? This ain't no motherfucking game. Anything could happen to you in prison. And these are prison stories.
All right, so this is a story about this young kid that came to prison. And, we could talk about prison all day. I could tell you all type of stories. Some of them are going to make you laugh. We can cut jokes about it. In each state it's different. And, I could tell you all about Florida prisons. And, some people may think they're soft. Just, they don't have any organization. The gangs aren't heavy in there. But one thing I can tell you, it don't matter what prison you go to, you can lose your life in prison. For sure. And in this one particular case that I'm going to tell you about, this was a personal friend of mine. It was a kid from my hometown. He was a black kid, but this kid, for some reason, he reminded me of what, if I were to have a son, he reminded me of what my little son would be like. I mean, he was my daughter's age. What was crazy, he was in his early 20s. And we just clicked. We clicked. As soon as I met this kid, he was in my dorm. And he liked to work out. We worked out together. Dude was in excellent shape. He was a cool ass little kid, man. We just kick it all the time in the dorm. But he had a quick attitude. He didn't put up with nothing. He didn't tolerate anything. And he started running a store. He was running a store in the dorm. And one thing for sure is, like, when you're a store man, you cannot be known to be a pushover. If you loan things out, people got to know they got to pay you back. And if people start, oh, my buddy borrowed shit from him and they never paid him back, people are going to take advantage of that. People are going to basically wreck your store. You're going to be out of business. So, but this kid, if somebody didn't pay immediately, like they said, hey, tomorrow I got you after a second wreck, and they didn't pay him, he's coming to address it with anger. This kid, he had a quick temper. That was the one thing that I used to tell him, man, you got to work on that. You got to work on that. And what I really liked about the kid is that he would listen. It wasn't, a lot of guys that come to prison think they know everything, think they're done learning. They don't want to listen to another man. But this kid would listen. He didn't mind listening. He was hungry to learn, and he was eager to listen. And he took it all in, and he would try to, become a better person and from whatever it was that you would tell him. And but another thing about him is he was extremely loyal to his friends. If you were friends with this kid, he was friends with you to death. And, like I said, we could talk about prison and joke about it all day, but there's death involved. You could lose your life in prison today, tomorrow, the next day. None of that's promised. You could just simply be crossing paths with the wrong guy walking down the sidewalk, the wrong roommate. And what happened in this kid's situation is, one of his homeboys, we were all from Jacksonville. I had just got transferred from this camp. One of his homeboys, he worked in the barbershop. This dude got into beef with two old cats on the compound that had been down for like 30-something years. They're known for, they ain't gonna fight. They can fight. One of them, the dude, his name's Tree. There's a bunch of trees in prison, so I'm not telling you exactly which one it is, but he's a big ass dude. He ain't got no problem tossing somebody around, but he's known for stabbing people. So the guy in the barbershop gets into a beef with these guys, and he tells our little homeboy about it. His kid's name was Josh. He tells Josh about it, and Josh immediately says he's going down there to confront these two guys that had a problem with his partner. The problem was not even with this kid, but like I said, this kid's loyal to the very end. And the other thing about the kid, not only did he work out, but he trained all the time. Every moment that he had to train, you'd see him just training hands. He was like lightning. He was very coordinated with his hands. He was a tough kid. Had no problem throwing hands with somebody. But not everybody's going to throw hands with you in prison. Not everybody's going to throw hands with a young kid that's really talented. So he goes to the rec field on the compound, and he finds the two guys that got into a beef with his homeboy that worked in the barbershop. And he tells him, he's like, hey, what's up, man? You got beef with my dog? And they tell him, they're like, look, kid, this shit doesn't have nothing to do with you. Go, step on, keep moving. It ain't got nothing to do with you. He's like, yeah, it's my homeboy. If it's got something to do with him, it's got something to do with me. And they said, look, man, we're going to tell you again, beat it. And he didn't listen. And they immediately, they pulled out knives on the kid. They pulled out knives on this kid, and it had just rained. The grass was still wet. It was out on the rec field. You know, most of the rec fields are grass. It had just rained. And when they pulled knives out, the kid didn't run. He didn't turn around. He didn't say, oh, never mind, peace. No, none of that. He put his hands up. And like I said, kid's super fast. I wasn't there. I got transferred. But immediately when this happened, I was at another compound. Somebody called me on a cell phone. They're networking on the compounds, you know, with cell phones. Somebody called me to tell me the news and told me exactly what happened. This kid, when he's dancing around them trying to fight him, he slips in the grass. When he slipped, they dove on this kid and just stabbed him and stabbed him and stabbed. They stabbed the kid so many times, basically stabbed him to pieces. But he still got out from under these guys. He got out from under them, tore his shirt off. This kid, man, is a hell of a memory. I can't do nothing but smile when I think about him because I really like the kid. But he tears his shirt off. It says, I'm a soldier to my last breath. And at this point, he's just leaking profusely. He's leaking, and everybody's like, listen, man, go to medical now, go. He goes to medical, and when he gets to the medical door, dude fell down, boom. He falls down at medical. When medical staff came outside, they sat there and watched. They stood above him while he died. Life out of the man. The life just went away from him. He died. So my point is that, you know, we could joke and talk and tell you funny stories about cell phones and people's butt and, you know, stuff like that. But it's not all jokes. It's not all play. It's serious. You know, and it doesn't matter where you land at, what camp you land at. You could be at a minimum security camp and get run up through there. You know, it happens. It happens on the daily. And in this particular situation, it happened with a good kid. You know, he put himself in somebody else's business, you know, granted, but he was just trying to do what he felt like was the right thing, being loyal to his homeboy. And it literally cost him his life.
For all the viewers and subscribers who would like to become part of the supporting crew at $4.99 a month and contribute to the Fresh Out channel, this is what you'll be getting. An exclusive look at all up-and-coming Spreads episodes. Learn what ingredients and recipes are used in prison to elevate the eating experience and how to get creative with what's available. Get your name in the credits. By becoming a member to the channel, you are directly helping us create better content, and as an acknowledgement, your name will be shown in the credits of the Fresh Out interviews. You will also gain exclusive members only access to footage that has never been seen before from our archives, unreleased episodes, behind the scenes, bloopers, and that gritty stuff you guys like to talk about, but we can't really share on the regular YouTube channel. Biannually, you'll also get a commissary package. First 6 months, membership will get an apparel package of Fresh Out clothing, and the next 6 months, you guys will get a spreads package with all the recipes and ingredients you'll need to bust that fat ass spread. Last but not least, as an additional perk for supporting the channel and helping us create bigger and better content, all members get an exclusive discount code to use in the Fresh Out commissary store. You'll receive 10% off all orders, no matter how big or small, and this is for unlimited use, not a one-time thing. You'll get to use this 10% whenever you want, as long as you're a paid member. All this will be available in the community tab for all you paid exclusive members. You will also get to represent the Wig Splitter crew. All members to the channel will receive this dope Wig Splitter badge icon that appears next to your name whenever you post on the channel. I've got your back on the open talks, and we'll be able to answer your questions as a priority. And sometimes, man, you just got to represent. We also support non-profit charities. After YouTube takes their cut of the $4.99, we will donate a percentage of all membership revenue to a worthwhile cause every quarter. Well, that's it, you guys. We hope you guys take that step and become a paid member and support us so we can travel to your state or your town and do an interview and keep bringing you this dope content. But remember guys, the channel's still free, but there are a lot of perks to becoming a paid member. Big Herc Fresh out. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.